Spring is finally sprung, but unfortunately, we've got some bad news. I finally came to the conclusion that we're going to go ahead and just turn this alfalfa field into a bean field. So last night I picked up a plow, we picked up a cheap 1600 John Deere, and we started working. As you can see here, we made a little bit of progress, and then the 1086 stopped working, and it's been in the field since last night. I really hope I don't get stuck pulling this trailer in here. It's surprisingly dry. Even though you would think it being spring it'd be kind of wet, but we're gonna see what we can do. It still starts, but it won't go into gear. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I think I'm gonna back the trailer up to the tractor, and then I'm gonna see if I can't use the winch to get the tractor up onto the trailer, and then I'm gonna see if I can't get it into the barn. On the flip side of this, it kind of made me realize that we probably need another workhorse tractor because the 8850 is a bit of an overkill for this plow. So I think I'm gonna buy something down at the dealership today, but we're gonna check it out. Give me a second. Let me get this on the trailer, and I probably need two hands for this. Well, we got it on the trailer. It started right up, but it just does not want to go into gear. I'm not really sure. So basically, what was happening last night is we were pulling this 1600, and I almost wonder, and of course now it's sunk down in the dirt, but oh well, we'll figure that out later. I almost wonder if this 1600 was a bit too much for that tractor, especially on singles. It may have been, maybe it was digging in too far. I don't know. I checked the depth. The depth seemed okay, but it seemed like when I was starting to climb this hill, it was kind of going like to second or third gear, and then it would go from like third gear to first gear, and it was slipping, and I could feel it. It was like jerking me. It was really weird. And then unfortunately it just decided to stop going into gear entirely. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with it. Hopefully we're gonna get her fixed. I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and get this loaded up. I mean, it already is loaded up, but let's go ahead and get it back to the barn and see what we can do. So I've been looking, and the dealership has that 8400 that we've been eyeing for a while now. Hopefully we don't get stuck out here. And I'm really seriously starting to contemplate it. There's a lot of things that I can do with that 8400. There's a lot of things that I intended to use a larger tractor for, that the 8850 is just a little too big, and the 1086 is just a little too small. We have a little budget. 253. We have 253,000. Yeah, she's not liking this. She's trying, but this is a little muddy back here. But we have $253,000, and the 8400, I think they're asking, oh boy, 50,000. Don't quote me. I think it's like 50,000. So we're gonna probably go on down there today. They're open, I do believe, and see if they can't get us a good deal. Now let's see how good I am at backing up a trailer. These mirrors are absolutely terrible. Okay, I think we're good to go. I think this 8850 is ready to come on out of the shed here. And it's been a while since I started it. It's been about a month. Seemed to be okay. I checked the oil. Oil looks good. Oil pressure's good. There's no lights on. Still runs like a champ. Definitely going to be the absolute workhorse. Eventually will likely be the tillage tractor. I'll be honest, we don't have a whole lot of use for it right now. Considering the equipment we have, we don't really have a lot of use for it. It was great for the 2410, but we're going to have to do some serious farm upgrades before the 8850 ever becomes viable for this farm. So let's go ahead and pull in the 1086 and get this guy unloaded. Part of the problem that we're going to run into with the way that we have things currently set up is getting that 1086 out. If it's something that I can't fix or my buddy can't fix, it probably means that it's got to go down to the dealership, and I'm not paying them to come pick it up. There is no way in hell I'm doing that. And luckily, that's why we have this trailer, but I think it kind of sucked getting it on the trailer with the winch. Not a very fun experience. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. I already went ahead and talked to my guy down at the dealership about the 8400. He said that he'll get it ready to go, draw me up some numbers for it. Said that they're actually offering or asking 53,000 for it. It's got a decent amount of hours. I think it's got what, like 5,000, something like that. So the 5,300 or 53,000, not that bad. I don't think that that's what we're going to pay. I'm going to definitely try to talk him down a little bit, see if we can't get ourselves a good deal. I'd really like to get it under 50,000. But I was taking a look at Tractor House. I was looking around online last night after this all kind of went down, and I didn't really see any 8400s for good prices. So this seemed to be a pretty reasonable price for an 8400 with this amount of hours on it. We've got a couple different options here. So we've got this 8345R, we've got the 8410, and then we've got just this straight up 8400. I told him that I wanted to look at the 8400. I totally forgot that they had the 8345R, and I'm a little enticed. So I talked to him about the 8345R. He told me that it was going to be about 107,000 is what they're asking for it. He said that if I wanted to, I could trade in the 8850, and then we would be getting what, 35,000. He'd give us 35,000 towards this 8345R. Now, the 8345R, a bigger tractor, 345 horsepower, would be very good for the farm, but still a little bit of an overkill for the 1600 plow that we've got. The 8400 would be perfect. It'd be the perfect sweet spot. Is it raining? And looks like there's actually a tornado warning. Great. Well, hopefully that doesn't turn into an issue, but you know, we got business to attend to. And we've got the 8410 here. So this one, I think of the three tractors has the most hours, and you can kind of tell by looking at it. Still relatively low hours for the year. I think they were asking 55,000 for this guy. The 8400, they were asking 52,000 for. Let me check the hours. 6,871 hours. That's not bad. Let's listen to it start up. Starts right up, no issues. I think I should probably, we're gonna pull it out from the line here. I'll be honest, I'm kind of liking the idea of the duals, and this 8410 has a little bit more horsepower than the regular 8400 has, and it's got already everything exactly how I want it. Duals in the rear, skinny duals, singles in the front. It's got the weights on the front. It's got a little more horsepower than the 8400. It's got the marker lights. Interior wise, I don't really see that it has anything different than the 8400, which is okay. It does have more hours, which I'm not exactly scared about. I feel pretty confident that there's a lot of stuff that I can fix. So we'll go ahead and just pull this guy out, and we'll let it warm up for a second before we give it a spin. And hopefully there isn't any tornadoes that come and swoop us up. So here's the 8400. This one, hour-wise, has 4,989 hours. So it's got that almost 5,000 that he had mentioned. They want 52 for it. I think I could get him down under 50 if I wanted to go this way, but I don't think I do. I'll be honest, you know, I've always been partial to the 8400s. Absolutely gorgeous tractors. Workhorses, one of the most nostalgic, best tractors John Deere ever made, alongside the 4440, which surprisingly he doesn't have. But I just, for like literally $3,000 more, I can get a little bit more horsepower. Granted, it's got about what, 2,000 more hours. So there is that, there is more hours on it, but I think we're going to probably be out on the 8400. The 8345R, I don't remember how many hours this thing said it had on it. This is actually in really good shape. Everything is pretty much top notch. They pretty much had it fully serviced when they got it. This has got the marker lights on it as well. It's got the rear wheel weights, got the duals in the back, singles in the front. a very, very good tractor. It would probably replace the 8850 that we've got, and it would probably become like our main workhorse tractor. Let's go ahead and jump into it and see how many hours she has. 4,238, $107,000 is what they want for this guy, and I think I could probably get him below 105. Again, when he told me this, I got on Tractor House and I was kind of looking around, kind of trying to figure out, you know, was this a good price? And it is. There was one other 8345R that had God, like 7,000 something hours on it for 92, the same year for 92,000. So we're right in the same ballpark. At least I think we are. I think they're probably a little bit over market, maybe just a touch. But then again, you know, this one does have almost half the hours that the other one on Tractor House does. So take a look at our balance in the top right. I went ahead and did a thing, and you can see the 8345R is on the back of the trailer on the Power Stroke. I did more than just a thing, okay? I also bought the 8410. I was not planning on buying the 8410, but he said that he'd really work with a deal for me. So this is the deal. So I got the 8410 for 50,000. They were asking for 52, 53, something like that. I keep forgetting the number. And then I got the 8345R for 107. They were going to stay sticker price on both these tractors. So I saved like $4 to $5 grand by doing this deal. Okay. They also gave me 35 for the 8850. I know I traded in the 8850. We haven't even really used it, but it'll find itself a new home, I'm sure. Besides, I'll be honest with you guys, if we do want another Big Mama, I think the 8960 is going to be kind of the way to go. You know, we're ready for the old tired iron, okay? And that's kind of what we're going with the 8410. Yeah, the 8850, she was old and tired as well, and we got a really good deal on her. But we actually, I think, ended up making a little bit of money on that 8850. And I'm sure she'll find a better home. She'll probably sit here for a while. She might. Boys, we're in trouble. Oh my God, Jesus. Holy shit. I just got off the phone with the neighbor, and it actually sounds like the tornado has touched down. We knew that there was going to be some inclement weather today, and it's actually near a field, or in a field near his house. So we're going to run up there like the idiots that we are and take a look at it, just because we're idiots and we're from the Midwest and we're curious. This might be the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life, and you can't really see it. It's oh boy, you can see it now. Oh man, what direction is that moving in? That is very humbling. And you know what they say, if the tornado does not look like it's moving, it's probably moving towards you. But you know what? We're going to stand here and admire it just because we're that big of an idiot. We're that level of an idiot. We did just drop 125,000, 130,000 on tractors that we probably shouldn't have done, because technically we don't have that kind of money yet. I definitely think that's moving towards us. Let's go ahead and get out of here. It's just kind of figured you guys might want to see that. Probably never seen a tornado before. It may be a good thing. Maybe a good thing we keep it that way. But we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Hopefully it doesn't shift and head towards the farm. That would be a very bad day. However, I do have some pretty darn good insurance. And if we wanted some tractors to go ahead and pay for themselves, that would be the way to do it. So... not talking about insurance fraud or anything. That would just be an act of God, right? Well, I figure at this point we might as well just go grab the 8850 and go grab the 8410. So we're gonna get the 8850 started up, get her driven on down to the dealership to go grab the 8410, and then probably gonna be it for the day. I think in the morning, which will all be in this video, I think we're gonna finish up tillage on that field over there. I really need to get it done. It's March 1st. We need to be in the fields planting by April 1st. I'm probably going to start with beans, and that's going to be the field that we start with. So we're going to go ahead and start up this 8850. We're getting on down to the dealership. Probably should go ahead and just turn on our or not our hazards, because we know we're going to be driving pretty slow through town and piss some little old Karen off who is a little late getting to the coffee shop in the morning. But anyways, I'd like to get that done. We've got some prep work to do still on it before I feel comfortable planting anything in it. I'll be honest, I don't think that we're really going to see that great of yield here in the first actual season of us planting. I think the field behind us that we're going to probably go ahead and put corn in, I think is probably going to be our best yielding field. I wanted to come out here real quick and pick up the 1600. I was a little worried that in the morning that it would just be completely buried. We might have a hell of a time getting out of here. I mean, look at the tires. Look at the tires on this thing already absolutely caked up. We didn't even run. Oh boy. Plow. Is the plow down? I didn't hook up the hydraulics. Okay, no, we're good. Plow's not down. All right, we'd definitely be feeling a lot more resistance in that. This thing is having no problem whatsoever, but we need to get this thing off the field, try to keep it out of the mud is absolutely possible. Plus, I did just get word that the tornado is actually getting very, very close to our neighbor's house, and they've actually gone down in the cellar and taken cover because of how close it is. So I think we're going to probably swing down there and just make sure that everybody's going to be okay. Probably keep our distance, but if something does happen and go wrong, we want to make sure we're there to help them. So we're pulling onto the neighbor's property. I just got off the phone with him. Him and his wife are okay, but it does sound like the tornado hit the farm. Looks like it hit the back left side, took some trees out. We're going to drive on back there and see what kind of damage that it caused. Boy, did they get lucky. Look at that. Look at these trees. That could 100% have caused so much more damage. Doesn't even look like it hurt the barn at all. And they are very, very lucky because I think that's where they keep their bigger equipment. That's where they got their 2 combines in. But I'm so glad that they're okay. Definitely a scary situation. The neighbors called and said he saw the tornado heading towards his house. Well, he saw that it wasn't moving, which he knew that it was moving towards him. But some definite tree damage here. Definitely gives us something to do. We'll probably be out here in a couple weeks to help him out, cut some of these trees down, turn them into firewood. But it looks like I'm counting 6 trees, not to mention, and kind of see some trees off in the distance there. I don't know if that's part of his property or not that he'd want to take out. Definitely gives us a chance to help him out for as much as he's helped us out. But luckily there wasn't anything planted in this field. You can see they're a pretty muddy mess. And it didn't even take out the fence, so it must have been a very weak tornado. Didn't even take these trees out either. So that's good for them. Damage is very minimal. I guess he'll have to walk around the property and kind of assess and see what's going on. I don't know, maybe something flew off and ran into everything. He does have animals. He's got horses over there, sheep, cows, you name it. You can see the horses right there. Hopefully they're all right. But definitely a scary situation. Let's get back to the farm. It is the next day, about 7 o'clock in the morning, already 54 degrees. Definitely warming up here this spring. And unfortunately, it looks like it's probably going to rain again today. So we really need to get in the field and start working this ground as much as possible while it's still dry. Because luckily for us, it is still dry. But I don't know what time it's supposed to rain. Let me take a look at the forecast here. Looks like rain from 1 o'clock to about 3 o'clock. Yikes. Rain on April 2nd, May 1st, all through June. Yeah, so we're going to have some very tight windows to get some planting and just general farming done, to be honest with you. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hook up the hoses. I got to hook up the hoses. There we go. Beautiful. And now she should lift up. Oh, she was down. Whoops. Hopefully we didn't do too much damage. We are off and running. I know that we're missing a little bit over there, but I kind of just wanted to get a straight pass. We'll come back down this way and clean some of this stuff up a little bit later. I just kind of wanted to see how this 8410 was going to perform. I think we'll go down to this end, and then we'll probably work uphill, make a square. That way we're not having to mess with end rows or anything like that. We can just get everything down the middle. Be pretty simple. I know we're not doing a whole lot here, but this is just kind of a testing situation for this 8410. It has not seen field work in about 6 months, is what the dealer told me. It's been about 6 months since it's seen any sort of field work, and they put about $5,000 worth of work into it, which sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, when you talk about the prices on parts and everything, and the price on labor, I want to say it's like $230 an hour or something like that for labor. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But considering all that, $5,000 is very, very cheap. I mean, they maybe just did what, like an oil change and changed out some of the filters. I mean, shit, the air filter on this damn son of a gun is probably $200. It's a pretty beefy one, but this one is for sure already handling it significantly better than the 1086 did. At this point in time, we were stuck in third gear, and it just kept going down to first gear, and then it would jump back up to third gear, and it was a bad experience. And this 8410 definitely handling a little bit better. We're in 12th gear right now. Badass little tractor this thing is. Gonna last us quite a while on the farm. Go ahead and get back on our line here. Should be pretty simple. I was thinking about having my cousin out. He actually just moved to town, and he said that he'd be willing to give me a hand when I needed it on the farm, which I don't really need right now. Nothing's really a rush. Maybe during planting season, maybe we'll use him. Granted, that's literally right around the corner. You'll probably be looking at that in the next episode, getting close to it at least. But, you know, kind of the main focus right now is getting this field ready. So we need to plow this field. I need to get a cultivator. We're going to buy a cultivator, and we're going to get this field cultivated. We're going to get the other field cultivated. Probably need to get some fertilizer down on both fields. My assumption would be that this field probably needs lime. I don't know that we're going to get to it this year. I think we're too tight of a window to even consider getting there. As ideal as it would be, probably not going to happen. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see. I definitely feel way more confident in this 8410. Definitely handling this a heck of a lot better than the 1086 ever did. And that's a plus, especially because if this 1086, or excuse me, if this 1600 does this well, it's not really the ideal plow, but we shouldn't have to plow every single field every single time. Now, granted, we probably should be rotating crops. You know, one year, one field should have beans, and the next year, maybe it should have corn. And when you go from corn to beans, you do need to plow anytime you go from a root crop. And that makes sense. But when we go from beans to corn, we don't got to plow. So this year, this will be a bean field. Next year, it'll be a corn field, and we won't have to plow it again, and that'll be ideal. However, the other field over there that we got going on, that is 1000% going to have to be plowed because it's going to have corn in it, and then it's going to have beans in it, and not really a great mixture there. Whenever you, like I said, whenever you go from a root crop to just like a standard row crop, you're probably going to be looking at wanting to do some more tillage on it. But that isn't that big of a deal. I think the 1600 should be able to handle that pretty easy. Just got off the phone with the neighbor, said that there is no damage to the property. There was a part way back in the property that blew up some tree limbs and is kind of sitting in the middle of one of his fields that he's going to have to get out before he even considers planting in it. That way he doesn't damage the planter or even really his plow. He still says he's got a plowed field. So that's all right. You know, luckily that's all the damage that he sustained. And it's not even really damage. It's just time added to getting ready for this year. He did ask that we come down after planting and get some of those trees taken out. So it'll be a great midsummer project for us. We're not doing any wheat this year. I don't know that he is either because of this. Well, actually, technically, he's already got his wheat fields planted. But yeah, so I think we'll probably end up just going down there midsummer and giving him a hand and seeing what we can't do, because I know that they've got those trees down and they can definitely use them for firewood going into the winter. And it looks bad. I guess his wife's kind of a stiffler about some of that stuff. So we'll go down there and give him some help. He's definitely helped us out in the past, loaning us equipment and whatnot. So far, so good. I'm genuinely impressed with this 8410. I'm so glad that we went this route. It handles this plow so well. I'm sure the 8345 does. Unfortunately, I think the reason the 1086 is broken down is because of me. I'll be honest. I don't think that that tractor was meant to pull this plow, and I think that's 100% why it's broken down right now, and that's our own mistake. You could probably maybe see it a little bit here just in a second as we pass the bar. You can see the 8345 in there. Man, she's looking beautiful. She's probably not going to be of much use to us yet until we get something that can pull it. It could be a great piece of equipment for a cultivator. But man, there she is, 1086, broken down, likely because of us. Oh well, hopefully it's not going to cost too much to fix it. We are on our final pass for the former alfalfa field. Kind of sad to see it go. When we bought the farm, that was our only money source. We made about $30,000 this year off of alfalfa, which is pretty decent. Especially, we probably could have done a little bit better had we bought the farm a little bit sooner and been able to tend to the field just a little bit more. But I think we'll finish up this row here. We'll get the 1600 and the 8410 back up to the building, and then I think we're gonna look online because it looks like it's gonna probably rain here in a little while. Looks like it's gonna come a little sooner than we initially anticipated, which was like 1 o'clock. Look at a disc harrower. Just kind of take a look at our options. I think we want to go with a disc. I think that's kind of where we're leaning, and I know that they have a really good one down there at the dealership that I had talked about getting at some point in time. And now we're done. We'll go ahead and fold it up. Go back here, kind of watch it, make sure there aren't any hydraulic leaks. And you know what? As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and just disconnect the hydraulics now. Oops. Guess I got to hit the right thing there. There we go. All right, hydraulics disconnected. I didn't see any leaks so far. Looks like the shovels are good. No issues. And I think we're good. Definitely good to inspect some of our stuff. I'll tell you one thing we need. We're going to need a pressure washer at some point in time. But we're looking pretty good. I don't see any shovels that look any bent, broken. We didn't lose anything. That's great. Means that we were at the right depths and didn't have any issues, didn't hit any rocks, even though you can kind of see there's some light stonage going on here, but not too much. Not too much that's going to cause us any sort of issues. But luckily that field is done. We got a lot more work to do in order to get it ready for planting. Let's go take a look at some options for some plows and disc harrows and stuff like that. All right, jumping into the office now. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got going on. Taking a look at some discs, some of our options, taking a look at the dealer website. The 2660 33 foot, I think that might be a little bit overkill for us. Looks like it needs 355 horsepower plus. Man, look at that price. I mean, we don't even have that right now. I suppose we could take out a loan. Little do you know, granted, this is new though. Okay, so this is new. We might be able to source one that's used with a few hours on it and get a better price, but I doubt we're gonna get it under 100,000. If we got it under 100,000, I'd be shocked. I can't afford anything at 100,000. I mean, we're looking at like a $50,000 to $60,000 piece of equipment that we need to get the job done. The 2660 is definitely a viable option in the future. However, here's the other thing, like I just mentioned, is we don't have a tractor to pull it. We have the 345R. That is going to do fantastic, but it's only 345 horsepower, so it's not going to be enough. You've got your Landau here. This is the one that the dealership actually has. I don't know what price they have on it at the moment. I'd have to look up into it. And not bad, not bad. 300 horsepower. I'm not interested in these. These are, I'm not sure. I've never even heard of Landstall, to be honest with you. But Landau, I have heard of. Pretty good product. And then, of course, you got the Summers. Here's a 2015. Looks like 10.1 is your working distance. You can operate at about 11 miles an hour. Same with this. Looks like they're about the same plow, or excuse me, same disc. And this one might be a little bit cheaper. This one's got baskets on the rear. I believe the Landau does too. It does. Okay. So there's an option. They're basically the same for the most point. for the most part, excuse me. This one has notched discs, though. I do see that. I don't know if I really want notched. What does this have? This is smooth. Okay. That we're probably going to be looking at the Landau then. And I know that the John Deere dealership does Landau parts. I don't know about Summers. I'm sure he could source me one, but I don't know about what we'd be looking at for later on in the future. So Landau is probably going to be the way to go there. Take a look back at, I mean, got cultivators too. I guess we could really go either direction. That's just too much of an overkill. We do have the Tigermate, the DMI. They don't really do parts in this. This is about the same width, and you can see this one's got points on it, which is and I think you can add a basket, and we'd have to look into some pricing for that guy, the DMI Tigermate. Can't say I've ever heard of it. I just know that I do believe it's American, and of course you got the case. We're not doing a case. I can promise you that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that enjoy the case. Grandpa, even though he gave us an international, would probably roll over in his grave. And now here is the 2720 that we had been looking at previously. Even now, like, we wouldn't be able to pull it. 350. Kind of want to go check just real quick to see what horsepower was in the 8850. I can't remember. 2720 9-shank ripper would be a great addition to the farm, but again, take a look at that price tag. This would obviously replace the 1600. This one has baskets on the back. Not a whole lot of configuring. It does have your shanks. Let me tell you something too. These ripper points are very expensive. They're like $200 to $300 a point. You got 9 points on there. You're looking at a couple $1,000s just in replacing those, especially if they're already bad. The discs, again, not really cheap. These to me look like 18s or 20s. It looks like they're actually a little bit big, smaller on the outers. You can see they're kind of smaller out here, probably 22s on the inners there, which I mean, kind of see they kind of gradually increase in size, and that obviously is going to cost some money too. So some things to kind of think about as you're doing some of this stuff. Take a look real quick. Take a look at the 8850. Let's see something. What kind of horsepower? That's the 8650. We want the 8850. Where's that at? Totally passing over it, aren't I? There it is. Excuse me. 370. Yeah, so 370 horsepower. That would have been an ideal tractor, but I got to be honest with you. As old as this thing is, it wasn't going to cut it. It was going to end up causing issues and stuff like that. And luckily for us, the dealership did kind of help us out and gave us, like I said, a good deal on everything. And we got a little bit of a warranty with it for now. Not much of one, but one that'll get the job done for sure. Very excited to use this thing in the field this year. Got to get that plate changed. Still says John Deere. But the 8345R is going to be a fantastic tractor along with the 8410. I guess. Ooh, look at the little deer over there. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for sticking around and helping out on the farm. And we'll be seeing you.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.